We've been fortunate to have known the children from their earliest days, from when they were babies until now, and it's truly devastating. They were incredibly active in supporting the community, and were an amazing family. We felt as though they were part of our own family. Imagine a devoted husband and wife, both with successful careers, raising 3 joyful children in the tranquil green fields of rural Ohio. What's the first image that comes to mind? Happiness, warmth, the American dream. That's likely what most people thought when they saw the Dunham family. But they were mistaken. Beneath the idyllic surface of middle America they embodied, Jason and Melissa Dunham concealed a terrifying darkness that would rock their peaceful community to its foundation. This is the tale of their horrific end, an end delivered by the man meant to protect them. This is the story of the haunting final days of the Dunham family and the brutal quintuple homicide that investigators still struggle to comprehend. Stay with us as we unravel this chilling story. Melissa Dunham was the epitome of a wholesome, Ohio-born and raised woman. Growing up in the Buckeye State, she had a nurturing childhood with doting parents who provided her every desire. A gifted student, Melissa earned an MBA from Kent State, followed by another master's degree in taxation from the University of Akron. With such remarkable academic achievements, she was destined for a lucrative career as an accountant. She found her place at a firm called Bober Markey Fedorovich, or BMF for short, when she was only 24 years old. She remained with the firm for 18 years, earning numerous accolades for her outstanding work. Among her many honors were a Woman of Excellence Award from the Women's Network and a 30 for the Future Award from the Greater Akron Chamber in 2019. To clarify, these awards were not from her employer, but from external organizations impressed by her expertise. In June of 2023, just 2 months before her tragic end, the now 42-year-old Melissa was promoted to partner at the firm. There was no doubt about it, Melissa was a rising star, with nowhere to go but up. Her husband, Jason, however, was more of an enigma. We know little about his upbringing or how he ended up in Ohio, but reports suggest he had a respectable career. At 46 years old, Jason worked in the sales and business development department of a company called POS Highway. While this likely provided a comfortable income, his job wasn't as prestigious as his wife's. Could this have created tension between them? Perhaps Jason felt resentment toward his wife for out-earning him, or maybe other hidden factors were at play. Regardless, these potential issues didn't prevent Jason and Melissa from building a beautiful family. Soon after Melissa began working at BMF, she and Jason connected and quickly fell in love. They married without delay, and by 2008, they welcomed their first child, a daughter named Renee, who was 15 at the time of her death. Over the next few years, they had another daughter, Amber, and a son, Evan, who were 12 and 9 years old, respectively, when the tragedy struck. The family resided in a cozy home in Lake Township, about 15 miles from Akron, where they became cherished members of the community. All the children were known for their athleticism and outgoing nature, with Renee and Amber participating in Girl Scouts and Evan joining the Boy Scouts at a young age. Melissa was deeply involved in these activities as well, often encouraging the girls to sell cookies for the Girl Scouts and write thank you notes to those who purchased them. Like their mother, the children were high achievers at school. Both Renee and Amber were part of the school band, with Amber excelling in cross-country events. Beyond their accomplishments, each child had a unique personality, and everyone could see them blossoming into their true selves as they grew. Renee, a tomboy who loved hands-on tasks, was often found outside doing yard work. She never needed prompting to rake leaves. It was simply something she enjoyed. Amber, on the other hand, was as feminine as could be, often displaying a generous spirit that made her a neighborhood favorite. According to neighbors, she loved baking and frequently made treats for those around her. Evan, the youngest, had recently developed a passion for Legos, indicating his love for building and problem-solving. He was also reportedly able to solve a Rubik's Cube in under 2 minutes, a testament to his remarkable intelligence at such a young age. The children also shared a strong bond with each other, often playing video games together or running around outside with their 2 dogs. Each family member seemed like a piece of a puzzle meant to fit perfectly together, except for Jason. Jason remained something of a mystery, even to his neighbors. One community member, Rebecca Geyer, noted that she frequently spent time with Melissa and always enjoyed her company, but despite living nearby for years, she had never once met Jason. Of course, some neighbors, like Edmund and Denise Gacko, who lived next door, had interacted with the Dunham patriarch. According to the Gaccos, Jason seemed like a decent person at times. He had helped them install a basketball hoop, and when they saw him with the children, they appeared to get along well. However, Denise also mentioned that Jason could be controlling, though she didn't elaborate on his behavior. One can speculate that Jason had a short temper, where his word was final, and any disagreement could set him off. Despite this, the children seemed well adjusted, and Melissa's career flourished. Yet the seeds of what was to come had already been sown. Curiously, local police had no record of domestic dispute calls from the Dunham household until the tragic day they all lost their lives. Could the family have been hiding something from the community? Was one of the parents having an affair? It's also possible that the children, particularly Amber and Renee, who were entering their teenage years, were causing friction. Whatever the case, something unusual began in late August as the summer of 2023 wound down. Neighbors noticed the children weren't playing outside as much. Previously, they were almost always outdoors, riding bikes or playing fetch with the dogs, despite also enjoying video games. All three children were known for their active lifestyles, so it was rare for neighbors not to see them. They were even part of Rebecca Geyer's morning routine. As she noted, they always waved to her while heading to their bus stop. Suddenly, those smiles vanished, and their outdoor playtime nearly stopped. The Gaccos, who often saw the children playing with their grandchildren, noticed these visits had ceased in recent days, and Amber's colorful cupcakes, which she used to bring over, were noticeably absent. Where were the children? Had something happened to keep them indoors? Given what we know about Jason, it's possible he was restricting their outdoor activities. Why he would impose such a rule is unclear, but some speculate he was already descending into a homicidal mindset. Tensions were mounting in the Dunham household, and no one in the community suspected what was coming. On August 23rd, something highly unusual occurred. Melissa didn't show up for work. This was a woman who prided herself on her punctuality and work ethic, never taking unannounced days off. Her absence raised some suspicion among her colleagues, though they initially assumed she might have been unwell. After 18 years of a flawless record, they likely thought she deserved a day to herself. But when Melissa didn't appear the next day either, alarm bells rang. She wasn't answering calls or responding to texts, and no one knew where she could be. With so many unanswered questions, her co-workers decided to contact the police. What they discovered at the Dunham residence would haunt them forever. At 7:30 p.m. on August 24th, police arrived at the Dunham family home on Carnation Avenue. Both Jason and Melissa's cars were parked outside, indicating they hadn't gone anywhere. Yet days' worth of mail had piled up, packages scattered across the lawn, letters stacked in heaps. It appeared as though the Dunhams had been absent for some time, despite their cars being present. Something was terribly wrong. The door was locked, so police enlisted Edmund Gacko's help to gain entry. Upon entering, they were overwhelmed by the smell of decomposing flesh. As they proceeded, they discovered 5 bodies riddled with bullets, those of the Dunham family. It appeared they had been dead for at least 2 days. It took police 2 hours to fully process the scene, officially declaring the family deceased at 9:52 p.m. and launching an investigation. There were no signs of forced entry, and the only weapon found belonged to the Dunhams themselves. Both Melissa and Jason had concealed carry permits, ruling out the possibility that an outsider brought the firearm. Further investigation revealed no evidence of foul play, leading police to one conclusion: this was a domestic dispute gone horribly wrong. They theorized that Jason and Melissa had a heated argument that turned violent. Once the gun was drawn, there was no turning back. Police confirmed the homicides were committed with a handgun, and there was no doubt who pulled the trigger. On neighbors' accounts, Jason's temper had gotten the better of him. leading him to kill not only his wife but also his 3 children before turning the gun on himself. The question remains, why? What could have driven him to commit such a heinous act? If the Dunhams had frequent loud arguments, neighbors would likely have heard and reported them. Even more puzzling, how did no one hear the gunshots in such a tight-knit community where neighbors are attuned to each other's lives? No silencer was found, so Jason may have muffled the shots with a pillow or cushion. If so, this suggests his actions were deliberate and calculated, not a spontaneous outburst. While police haven't disclosed the number of shots fired, at least 4 must have been discharged before Jason took his own life. Was this premeditated? That might explain why no one noticed for days, but it contradicts the police's theory of a simple domestic dispute. It's almost as if Jason snapped without warning, yet the violent impulses must have been brewing for some time. A single murder might be a crime of passion, but 4 requires a level of cold-blooded intent. Despite seeming controlling, Jason had never shown signs of such brutality before. With the likely perpetrator dead, the truth may never be fully uncovered. All we can do is piece together the evidence and testimony to form theories. Since no one survived to provide answers, justice for the family seems out of reach, leaving this a mystery that may never be solved. The loss of this beloved family sparked an outpouring of grief from coworkers, schoolmates, and neighbors alike. We've been blessed to know the kids from the beginning, and since they were babies till now, it's just heartbreaking. They were very good in helping the community. They were a wonderful family, one neighbor shared. We have a very tight-knit, faith-based community. We're going to lean on that and lean on our folks to love on one another and take care of each other. Edmund Gacko nearly broke down while speaking about the children he'd watched grow up. He'd known the Dunhams for 18 years since they moved in next door. Just at the start of the summer, they had played a baseball game together in their front yard with Jason acting perfectly normal. Now, they were gone in an instant. Sarah Martin, BMF's chief operating officer, issued a statement expressing the company's devastation. Melissa wasn't just a colleague or an asset. She was a friend of 18 years who deserved decades more of success. Given her accolades and rapid rise, she could have led the firm one day. Instead, she'll be remembered as the mother tragically killed by her husband in their own home. The school community was equally devastated. Renee was set to perform with the school band at an away game, and her death was the second loss the school had faced in a year, following a student's death during surgery. The double tragedy crushed the students, prompting the school district to deploy a crisis response team with counselors to help the children cope. There was no saving the Dunhams, but their community held a candlelight vigil in their honor. Uniontown Police Chief Michael called it the most gruesome case of his 23-year career. In February 2024, a close family friend, Angelia Lehman, gathered surviving relatives and friends to establish a scholarship in the Dunhams' memory. Through this, their legacy of community involvement and teamwork will endure, remembered for more than their tragic end. Graduating seniors from Lake High School can now receive college financial aid by honoring the Dunham legacy, a legacy of outreach, teamwork, and belief in something greater. Melissa herself summed it up best in a video for the Greater Akron Chamber, where she spoke of her love for Lake Township, praising the schools for challenging her children and the community for offering countless opportunities. "It's a wonderful community to raise our children," she said. "I have ties to the community with the organizations I work with. I love being a part of community support services and the Girl Scouts of Northeast Ohio, and the school districts are amazing. They challenge my children, and it's a great place to live, thrive, and there's many opportunities in the small community." Jason Dunham, however, is not remembered as warmly. His shocking actions have left the community reeling, and it will take years for the Gackos, Geyers, and other neighbors to heal. What do you think of this case? Was it simply a domestic dispute gone wrong? Or did Jason harbor darker intentions? No one suspected? Share your thoughts below. If you want more stories like this, please like the video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more true crime content. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one.